Hello everyone, this is how motorcycle engine works. It's my audience, Richard and Jennifer. I'm Robert Shaw. First of all, my work cited. Number 1, Harris Williams, How Motorcycles Work, How Stuff Works, 2009, Web. Number 2, Abdo Edwards, Modern Motorcycle Technology, New York, Delaware, 2010, print. Now, a motorcycle is a simple concept. It runs off of 4 main operations: intake, compression, combustion, exhaust. This is my motorcycle, Kawasaki Ninja. This is the tank, where the gas is. This is the engine, where all the magic happens. This is the chain, where the power is transferred to the rear wheel, and the exhaust pipe is on the other side. Now, the tank's job is to deliver the fuel to the fuel injector. The fuel injector's job is to create atomized fuel for the first operation, intake. Atomized fuel is the same thing as a spray bottle. The liquid is atomized. That's the exact same thing that the fuel injector does. It takes the fuel and sprays it into the air manifold, which is a pocket between the gas tank and the cylinder when the intake is happening. So now that we know about the fuel injector, let's talk about how it all works. Now, inside of this plastic, there's the engine, which is comprised of 2 cylinders with a piston inside of each. The piston moves up and down, performing each of the operations in turn. First, the piston inside the cylinder moves down and sucks in the air with the atomized fuel sprayed in to the air by the fuel injector and sucks it into the cylinder. Then once it sucks it all in, the chamber up top seals off and the cylinder, or the piston, comes back up the cylinder, compressing the fuel air mix that is now inside of the cylinder. Now once the piston hits the top of the cylinder, the air fuel mix is fully compressed and is ready to be combusted. The spark plug up top of the cylinder sparks, creating enough heat to combust the air fuel mix, which creates energy and pushes the piston back down the cylinder, creating the power that pushes the back wheel. Now, after the piston goes down on the combustion stroke, it comes back up and the valve opens, releasing the exhaust through the exhaust pipe. Now, all this power that's being created every time that the combustion stroke happens needs to be controlled somehow. This is done by the clutch. The clutch is inside of this cover right here. The clutch is controlled by this lever. When I squeeze this lever, all of the power that's coming out of the engine is disconnected from the transmission. When I release the clutch, the power is re-engaged. A direct connection is formed, and when I squeeze, the connection is no longer there. Now, the transmission after the clutch is inside of this area right here. It's a bunch of gears that are meshed together, constantly turning, and when I switch this lever down on the bottom there, the gears change. creating different ratios between the gears to control what speed you're going. Now, after the transmission is the chain. The chain's job is quite simply to take the power and transfer it to the rear wheel and make you move. Now, different motorcycles have different means of that connection. Some have a steel bar that turns in a circular motion with gears on both sides to make the wheel move. Some motorcycles have a belt, which is actually the same concept of the chain, except instead of it being metal, it's a hardened plastic between the engine and the wheel, and it turns and moves the wheel. So as you can see, a motorcycle engine is a simple concept. The things in between to make it work are just a little bit complicated, but the engine is a simple concept. Thank you for the Kawasaki. Thank you to my audience, and thank you for listening. I hope you learned something.